In a world filled with madness, drama, and chaos, comes a zombie apocalypse like never before. Well, zombies and robots, because we're looking into 3 different games. Presented in 3 different games: Into the Night, No Escape, and The Lost Blade. Get to explore a haunted house with magical zombies that appear out of thin air into the night. Or get to journey to Mars, where you get to kill robots trying to stop you from building a time machine. Fast forward through time till Mars has vegetation, and now back to the zombies. Trapped in a 2D zombie asylum, get to run through stagnant zombies that kill you with only a look. Listen to critics and the game developer as they go head to head talking about what went into building these 3 games, all starting in 3, 2, and D.
Hi there, and welcome to Jiwe Roundtables. In this session, we are featuring games from the Jiwe Game Jam. We have the top 3 games that won the most accolades from the Game Jam. The leading game was Into the Night by Ray Frank. We have number 2, The Lost Blade by Bahan. And we have number 3, No Escape by Bokari and Frank. In this session, we feature what the developers used to create the games, what we love about the games, what we don't like as much about the games, and what they could improve on the games. We hope you enjoyed this session of the Roundtables. Give us feedback in the comments below and tell us what you like and what you didn't like so much about the games. Thank you and welcome. Hi everyone, my name is Dean Geshoke, Marketing Manager, Jiwe Studios. We are here to assist African developers make the most out of their games, and we are excited to present the winning teams from the Jiwe Game Jam. I will quickly ask each of you to introduce yourselves, starting with the winner, Ray Frank. Ray, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hi guys.
Yes, please.
My name is Ray Frank. Huh? I can start.
Yes.
Okay.
Please start.
Hi guys. My name is Ray Frank. I am the winner of the Game Jam. I created a game called Into the Night. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. And besides that, I just work on games, AI. That's like my main bracket. And then besides that, I just started my own studios. It's called Raytech Game Studios, and that's pretty much about me.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. Bahan, are you ready?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Bahani Wheeler, and I'm a game developer. I made the game The Lost Blade, which is a game where you play as a lost human that got lost in Mars. And yeah, and I like making games in my spare time. So yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. Maybe tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, what you're up to.
Okay, so besides making games, I also like playing basketball, and currently I'm working on another bigger game, which I hope to release at around December. Yeah, so that's another one of my projects which I hope to release. And then I also have a YouTube channel where I teach people how to make games called Cognitive Tutorials.
Awesome. Thank you, Bahan. We have Frank. Frank, are you able to introduce yourself? Are you in a position where you can speak?
Which Frank?
If Sorry, we have another Frank. Oh yes, Frank is not able to use his mic. Then we'll get quickly to the judges. Wendy, able to tell us a bit about yourself?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy Ndaki. I am a game writer at Jiwe Studios. I also work with Africa Comic Kid, and I can see Oscar is here. He's the head of the team there. So yeah, that's a bit about me, and I'll be here judging, or at least giving some feedback from my experience playing your games.
Awesome. Oscar, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Oscar.
Hello. Hi, Oscar.
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Oscar, and I'm the co-founder of Africa Comic Kid, which is a platform for African digital creatives in games, animation, comics, and the XR industry. And yep, I'm excited to be here with you all. I enjoyed playing your games. I have lots of questions. And yeah, I will see what we can do together based on the impression I got from playing your games. Yeah.
Awesome. Very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. Exciting. Yes, we have Bokari. Bokari, are you able to talk to us? In a position to speak?
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, I am Al-Bukhari Muhammad, game artist, 2D artist from Sudan. Me and Mr. Plant, we are the members of Team 2. Team 2, our game name is No Escape. Okay, we won the third place, which is actually good for the amount of work we did. Here in Sudan, we don't have much to talk about game industry, but we are trying. We have the Sudanese collective game. I think some of our organizers here from Sudan collective game have contacted you from Jawa or Jiwa. I still can't actually pronounce your name. Jiwa, Jawa. I can't pronounce it. Okay, I don't know if Mr. Frank is here, but I will talk about the art aspect of our game and the process and the killings of it. And the development aspect will be taught by Mr. Frank, my CEO.
Yes, Frank. Yes, Frank mentioned he might not be able to speak, but I think I can introduce him with the bio he's put in the chat. So his name is Frank Yebue. I know I've probably destroyed that name. I'm so sorry. He was part of the team that made the game No Escape. He's a full stack mobile developer and a hobbyist game developer. And he primarily uses Unity, but also Construct 3, and recently Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5. So welcome, Frank. Welcome, Buhari. So there are two people whose names I can't see. Is one of you able to introduce yourselves, if you haven't?
Hey guys, I guess I'm one of them. I've been experiencing a bit of issues with my machine, so I had to use another device for this. Yeah, but all in all, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. It will be awesome if you're able to switch on your video, but we can hear you.
Okay, Mabu House. the outreach coordinator for Jiwe. Yeah, we've been interacting with most of you guys during the jam. It's been a back and forth thing, but yeah, we're excited. You guys got to build the games that you build, and you put in the work to do this, and you dedicated work outside your schedule to do this. So we are very appreciative for that. Yeah, aside from that, I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to say about your games and just your thinking process around what you did for the games. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, awesome, Charles. Thank you so much. Then I think that's everyone. There's one person who hasn't introduced themselves. Are they able to? I don't know if that is Charles. Okay, that's fine. So we'll jump right into it. I will ask Oscar to please tell us a bit about the games he played. Maybe we start off with Frank's game Into the Night, what he thought of the game, what he enjoyed, what he didn't enjoy so much. Oscar, the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. Firstly, I must say, to start out with, I think all the games are really, really lovely. I enjoyed playing all of them. Though I did have some, for some of the games, I was trying to like balance it properly with the team. Does it really fit the team? That was one of the things that really actually helped in me giving my own, what you would call ratings, basically for the games, looking at graphics, sounds, and the likes. And but
Yeah.
there's one game that stood out from everyone. I think the years were Into the Night is the developer here.
Yes, he is. Frank is here.
Yeah. So Into the Night was one game that really stood out for me. And I remember when I was putting in the ratings and all, I asked myself, is this a template? Because it was really, really good. I was looking at the time you had to build the game and really, really come up with those graphics, the flow. I loved the music. I loved everything about the game, and we can get to that later on if it was a template that you worked with or so, but that was really, really nice. I really enjoyed the experience of playing your game. I really, really loved it. This is just a brief overview of everything, basically. For the others as well, I enjoyed the gameplay. Maybe in sound, I don't know, most people did not really put so much effort in the UI, basically. I think lots of improvements can still be done there, but then it's a game jam and it came out very well. So yeah, that's just a general overview. We'll go deeper. Let's give it to Wendy.
Ray, anything you'd like to clarify? Anything you'd like to add to say to that?
First of all, I'm glad you liked the game Into the Night. Although I felt like there are things I could have done better, but I think time was a bit of a constraint for me. Especially with like completing, because I didn't get to complete the entire vision. But I'm happy that you enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to improve it in the future.
Okay, awesome. Might as well just go directly into it. Was it or was it not a template?
Was it or was it not a
Template.
Oh, part of it was.
Oh, really? Which part?
I won't lie to you, but what I usually do is
Hello? Yes, I'm not sure if it's just me, but we've lost you.
I think we lost him. Yeah.
So we'll quickly go to Max. Max, do you have any thoughts for the first or the winningest game during this game jam, Into the Night by Ray Frank?
Do I have any thoughts?
Yes. Any thoughts, any feedback, any initial impressions of the game?
Okay. I really liked the game. And I also was really um, um, interested or rather captured by how quick kind of Frank put together the whole game. You just by looking at it, you can't really tell that the game was like built in a week. And I even had to call Frank and just kind of ask, okay, Frank, what process are you using to build the game? And essentially, what he explained was he's been developing this kind of style over time, so he's able to quickly put together a really, really, really quality game in this first person shooter genre in a short period of time. From the sounds and the music in the game, I think there were some sections where I would enter a room and a different tune would play, like you're just entering a house.
Yeah.
There's another bit I was walking, kind of through the forest, and a different tune comes in, and I could see the leaves falling down, and it really didn't look like a game built in 1 week. But because of kind of Frank's process, and since he's been working on this genre kind of over time, he's able to produce something really high level. So that was really interesting, and kudos to Frank.
Okay, awesome. Any thoughts on the style of the game? It's in the horror genre. You're able to you attack and get attacked by zombies. How was the mechanics experience like for you?
I think the mechanic experience was really good. It's a first person shooter, so whether it's zombies, whether it's a SWAT team chasing after you, it's pretty much the same mechanic. So it's a very dynamic mechanic. You can do a lot with it. And I know, Frank, actually, I've not even told you this. There are some guys from Tanzania that asked me, okay, since we've seen this game, how can we make it 2-player and how can we set it in our slums? So I need to connect you to those guys. And so they're really excited into kind of bringing to life our local environment, our local areas, places that we all know and love, and put some action into it and put some drama into it, and kind of add the engagement from the local group. So whatever you did already caught the attention of a lot of the local people, saying, how can we use this mechanic but with local environments more? And then, I did a lot of research and I realized actually we don't have a lot of assets that showcase our local environment. So there's nowhere you're going to go and see someone has built Nairobi in Unreal Engine, or some of the landmarks from Nairobi or Lagos in some of these global stores. You're not going to see that. So the challenge there, I think, is twofold in terms of the assets, creating the assets from scratch, and just setting the missions, interesting missions in a local environment. So, Frank, I'm going to make that connection for you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Very happy to hear that. Frank, any thoughts, anything you'd like to say? I see your video is off. Hello, Ray, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, yes. Tell us what you think about that. Yes.
I didn't hear, my connection was interrupted.
Ooh, sorry. I think in a nutshell, Max was talking about the fact that he understood how you were able to make the game that quickly. Then he really loved the first-person element to it. He loved the horror element to it and the music. And he even mentioned that some developers from Tanzania would like to have a conversation with you about making the game in a more local setting, with the local environment. So think your urban environments, Nairobi, a slum, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's a point I was saying before. I think I cut off. I think it was, who was it asking again? I think someone asked about whether it was a template. I don't know who.
Yes, yes, that was the original question.
Oh, okay. So part of it was some assets I made long time ago, and then part of it was some assets I got from asset stores in from game engines. Like Unity has its own asset store, so
Yeah.
part of it I got it from there. And then the next thing is, oh, I hope your question is answered.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Um,
Yeah, are you interested in expanding the game? Are you interested in doing more with it?
yeah, I'm interested in doing more with it because I felt that I could have done more with it, but the jam was time restricted. So yeah, I believe I could have done more with it.
Wendy, just your overall thoughts on playing Refrank's game?
Okay.
Yes.
So first, Into the Night. First of all, I found it very visually appealing. Yeah, it really captured me from the word go. So that was kudos to the to Raytech. And I loved the music, and I loved how it matched the horror genre of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I also liked how it played. Like there was a way it's just focused, like your point of view was focused. So you'd only see that specific point, and everything else was blood or just black. You can't see what's happening. So that also enhanced the horror nature of the game.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. And yeah, I also had this interesting experience with a zombie. I was caught. I was caught off guard. I tried to kill it because I had picked. I think I had a gun. Was it a gun that I picked? Yeah, I had. I thought I had killed it, but then I also died. So, yeah, but it was an interesting experience overall. Yeah, the game was really visually appealing and interesting to play. Yeah, that's my feedback for Into the Night.
Okay. Any challenge you experienced with the game, with playing the game? Into the Night?
Nah, not really. It was interesting for me. I didn't experience much of a challenge really. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hello? Yes? Who's that? Ray, is that you? Would you
Yeah.
like to say something to respond? Yes?
Oh, okay. I always there's always this question that I always get. How did I make it visually appealing? And
Yeah.
the way I did it is I usually use. I think some developers know this. There's something in Unity called the high definition render pipeline
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
HDRP. So all that does
Yeah.
is that
HDRP.
it just turns the whole scene to be cinematic, and you can do a lot of things with it. You can control the shadows, the color, the the grading, and everything about it. So and then that's how I did it. And then the textures, I just use high resolution textures to just make sure that it's pushed up to the limit. But then that will also sometimes it compromises on performance. But yeah, I'm glad that you you had no problems playing with it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, very happy to hear that. For the developers who may be watching this, HDRP is definitely a powerful tool for you to use when you want to make your game more visually appealing. It helps when you have high quality assets. It helps when you're able to design an interesting level that does look the way you want it to look. Okay, as we wait for you to come back, maybe I can give my feedback on the games. So, yes, let me give my feedback on the games. To start off with Into the Night, what was, and I think I called Ray about it, what was most interesting for me was the jump scare, in that you don't know for too long that you're about to be scared. The sound immediately shifts, and then you have a zombie on you. So that was, I thought, very interesting and very exciting. I really liked the mystery of it. I liked that you didn't know what you were supposed to do. Yes, you pick up a gun, you assume that you're going to shoot something, you don't know what you're going to shoot. And I liked that the turn or the twist is completely at the end of the level. What I didn't like as much is, I don't know, it felt like you were being quote unquote taken to your death, or you are basically in this controlled environment that you're going to be scared shitless. A bit of freedom would have been interesting, maybe a forest, maybe a bit more space. That would still be scary. Yeah, I don't know, Ray, any feedback on that? Any thoughts?
I've actually been taking in all the feedback so that I can know what to work on. Yeah, there are definitely a lot that I could have done better with this game. I didn't. I think maybe if I had more time, I would have addressed all those issues. And but all in all, I'm glad that nobody died out of playing it.
Let's jump to Telvin. Telvin, any thoughts on Into the Night, and how was the experience playing the game for you? Yes, Telvin, we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, yeah. So, my opinion on Into the Night, this internet is lagging. I really love the game, especially the graphics. The graphics were very appealing. Like, that's the first thing, like, just blew me away. Like, I couldn't believe this is made in Unity, because I'm skeptical about Unity's graphics, so like I was really impressed by that. And yeah, the like the beginning of the game, I really liked the way like you instructed the player to go back for the gun, like they've left something. I really loved that feedback. The only thing that really frustrated me was the zombies. Like when they immediately catch you, you die. Like that really frustrated me. Like especially the first part. Like I just went through the door. The zombie just caught me. I died. I didn't know why I died. Like the first time, I didn't know why I died, but I died. I was like, okay. But then the second part, I tried, just moved past the zombies. And then after that, I was able to shoot them. And then I went outside. And then there was another zombie I was supposed to find. And I think I shot him. He didn't die. But other than that, I really loved the game. The atmosphere like felt horror-like. Like I really loved that. Like so like the horror improvements I would maybe suggest was to have the AI not immediately kill you. Like yeah, just so that the player has breathing space to process what they want, what they're seeing. Yeah, even the jump scares, like they felt off because I die immediately, like when the zombie catches me. So like so yeah, maybe just improve that, like having the player not die immediately. But yeah, those were my overall thoughts of the game. But really good job. I loved it.
Awesome. Thank you. Ray, anything to say? Anything to add? Oh, Ray couldn't hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear Telvin.
Then I think I'll just narrate some of what he said. He said he loved the jump scare. It was a bit of a challenge because he was almost immediately killed. But as a result of that, he thought some of the feedback he'd give is maybe finding a way that the AI doesn't kill you immediately, that the AI takes maybe a bit of time before you die. Yeah, and making it, basically giving the player a better chance to figure out what's going on before they're dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad he likes it. I'll also, I think I should make I should have I think what I should do next time, I should have like a difficulty, like easy, medium, hard, so that
Ooh.
I think
Yeah, that would be interesting.
yeah, so that the beginner, the guys who are new to games can have it easy, can have an easy time playing it.
Yeah, yeah, the beginners like Telvin. Yeah, I agree, I understand, yeah.
Oh, he's a beginner.
No, he's not. I just thought I'd make fun of him. Yes, sorry, continue.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think I've actually been writing down what you guys have been saying so that I can see where I can improve on the game. But yeah, otherwise I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Oscar, are you able to tell us about the next game? This was The Lost Blade.
So I didn't get that.
Are you able to tell us about the next game, The Lost Blade? As I send a message to Ray.
Okay, then. Yeah. So yeah, the next one, let me see, that's Lost Blade. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I love the graphics. The graphics was something that stood out for me. I love the way you use that's something that is not so common in Africa. The way you did the low poly graphics, that was really, really cool. And I also really loved the music. The music stood out well for me, very, very well. So I think the only thing that was there for me was, I think there was a little lot of space around. That was something that made me, maybe it's because it's the Lost Blade or so, you kept me in a lost space. There was it was more like
lost.
Open world kind of. Like when the character is moving, there's a whole lot of space. Yeah, characters move close to you, but then when you look around, it wasn't really filled up. So while that still moved a little to the theme of the drama and all, I felt like something was missing at some point, basically. But then when it comes down to the graphics, I love the fact that you went for that kind of graphics. That's very rare to find in Jams. Most people try to do full 3D characters and the likes, but you went for that kind of graphic, and that was unique. And then for sound, I really enjoyed the music. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What didn't you like about it?
Oh, that's what I made mention of, the space. I felt I felt like I was getting lost myself. Like, so while playing the game, I know you can move around, interact and all, but then I just somehow wished there was a lot more objects in the environment, a lot more things I could interact with. I'd have to walk to get to a point where there's like a blue indicator telling me this is something I can interact with. So I just felt like that distance, that journey, that difference was too much for me. I would have loved to have more objects lying around. It was more like a space background, but then if you could have put some more things for me to interact with or view while moving around, that would have been much fun.
Okay, awesome, interesting. Okay, Bahan, anything you'd like to reply to that with? Anything you'd like to say about the space? And I am sure it was probably on purpose, but yeah, tell us a bit about it.
Yes, Okay, so I'm glad you liked the graphics. It was my first attempt at 3D low poly, so it's great to hear that you liked it. Yeah, so for the open world and the objects that were missing, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was thinking of adding a bit more objects, but then I thought isolation, and while isolated, you're alone. So I did have the idea of if while you're in the future in the Lost Blade, they are like trees. So what I was thinking of was adding like dry trees or and a few other objects like stones, but then I thought maybe it wouldn't fit well with the theme in terms of isolation. So yeah, that was more of my mindset there while developing the background of the world. But yeah, I definitely understand how it may be a bit plain or boring if there's you're traveling just to one place and there's nothing really to look at. So yeah, thank you for that feedback.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Happy to hear. Yes, Max, the next developer is Bahan with the game Lost Blade. This is set in space and, sorry, with the game The Lost Blade, yes. It is set in space, it's set on Mars, where you fight robots and you try to teleport through different levels. What are your thoughts on the game? What is your initial feedback? What did you like and what didn't you like as much?
Yes, so that game really stuck with me. That game left a mark on me because of that mechanic was so creative that I was surprised to see it there. So the whole idea of here you are in space, but you have to get these I want to call them energy crystals that allow you to travel back in time,
Power ups.
that allow you to travel back in time and perform tasks that have an impact on the current time. So I completely understood what was going on. Everybody, some of the other judges left comments and they were like, I'm not really sure what was going on. But for me, I understood it. And I really liked the creativity around time travel. That was super unique. There was nobody else that picked time travel and did it quite like Bahin did. So it was really good. Kudos on taking on that challenge. I think everybody tiptoed around that challenge, but you took it on, and I think like you did it really, really, really well. And I think if you were given more time to kind of describe the context of which the player is in, and the ability to move back and forth in time, it would have made the game even better. So, yeah.
I think I completely agree. It's obvious the developer took a few interesting risks and it creates a very different gameplay experience. But what didn't you like about it? What was challenging? What was difficult about it?
I felt the combat system was a little bit difficult to work with. When you hit someone, you're not really sure if they're hit or if their life is kind of going down. You're not really sure. That was for me the most challenging bit. But it stood out. The time traveling aspect really stood out more. And if his goal was bring out the time traveling mechanic more than the combat element, I think he achieved that.
Okay. Awesome, understood, yes. Bahan, anything you'd like to say in response?
Thank you for the comments. Well, making a time traveler game was very interesting. I had many different routes to take, but I decided to choose one where you can travel forward and back in time. So the main aim of the time traveling was to like you're trapped in another world was one of the other themes. So the aim of the game was like to get different parts for a teleporter to teleport you back to the end. So like at the end where you knock at the door and say, "Honey, I'm home." So really making the time really making the time traveler part was really fun. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely I do agree with the combat system not being clear. So I definitely want to in the future maybe add maybe a few more swords instead of just going in one direction, and maybe make the attack maybe the I don't know, maybe make more particle effects when you're hitting the robot. So yeah, that's definitely a great thing to consider. Thank you for that feedback.
But awesome, thank you, Ray. Next we have, for Wendy, we have the second game, The Lost Blade by Bahan Wheeler. What were your thoughts playing the game? How was the experience? What did you like?
Okay. First of all, I love how it welcomes you with this cinematic music that gives it a sci-fi feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like watching a sci-fi movie when it started, so that was really awesome. It would be nice if we had the similar music also while playing the game, just to enhance the whole vibe of the game.
Yeah.
And then I also love the transformation when you enter that bubble of energy, and then you're taken to this as a new transported. You try a time travel to this beautiful scenery. So I loved the contrast from being out of space and then going time traveling to this place where you get to meet the mech robots, and you're supposed to find a way to
Fight them.
get scrap from them. Yeah, that was an interesting. I love the contrast, and also
Yeah.
I think I had a bit of a challenge with the instructions. If they could be a bit more elaborate, that would be great. Because like I encountered a part where I'd try swinging my sword at the robots. I do it so many times, but they're also shooting at me. So so yeah. I didn't know how long or how to exactly get rid of them in order to, achieve the task I intended to achieve. So maybe the instructions could get a bit clearer on that. But overall, I enjoyed the experience. It's an awesome game. Yeah.
Okay. Bahan, anything to add on the figuring out how to fight the mech robots?
Yes, thank you very much for the comments. I'm glad that you enjoyed the beginning of the game. So yeah, it's a great idea to add more music towards while playing the game. Because while I was making the game, music and sound, I all did that last minute. So that was something I added in the game last minute. So I didn't really polish up on the sound effects and music. But definitely, it's one of the things I would look forward to is making more music while playing the game. And yes, I do understand the confusion while fighting with the sword, because yeah, you have to be like close to the robot, and it's not clear if you've hit him or not. So that's definitely
Yeah.
something.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, next on to The Lost Blade by Bahan. I think for me the most exciting thing was that he took a risk. He really, I think, pushed the boundary in terms of what his game could be, with the teleporting and the sword fighting and the using different ways to try to get around the enemy. And I think it was an interesting challenge in that the space was so open, you didn't immediately know what you wanted to do. Of course, the only challenge was the graphics, but that wasn't too bad. I still think it was interesting. Definitely the instructions were a bit difficult to figure out what to do next. And yeah, I experienced the same challenge as Wendy earlier, where you were unable to attack the robot because you weren't sure. Bahan, anything in response, any thoughts, anything to say?
Yes. Um, um, for the instructions, I feel like I agree that it wasn't very clear on what to do. It was a great feedback to give because even while play testing a bit, it wasn't as clear while I was having some people test it, what to do during the game. So I really tried to make it as clear as possible. I definitely want to make it more clear and also again make combat and when you're hurting the robot more clear. But thank you for the feedback.
Okay, awesome. Kelvin, any feedback for the next game is the Lost Blade. This was the 3D teleporting game. Kelvin, are you there? Can you hear me? I think he's having network challenges. Does any judge have any parting shots? Anything they'd like to add? Anything they'd like to say? Wendy? Oscar?
I can go first.
Okay, yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Overall, I was impressed by the games that were made, considering that they were made over a very short span of time. So you guys did very well. I'm looking forward to seeing the future versions of the games. Having gotten the feedback today, hopefully the games will go improving. After this and in the future. Yeah, so all the best to all of you and congratulations on your win. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Oscar, anything to say?
Yeah, I think from my end, I would just say really it was exciting to meet you all, the guys behind those games. It was really exciting. And then I would personally really look forward to seeing what you guys do. That's if you move on with these games or if you come up with something else. I think one of you said you just started a studio. That's really, really exciting. And so, yeah, for me on my end, I would say good job with what you did. I think everybody certainly did something good that I can say. Yes, there's room for improvement. There is no perfection anywhere. There's always room for improvement. But then now is the time we now look forward to what you would do. Would you push further with this game or you do something entirely new? However, the industry is looking forward to seeing if you move further with this. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Oscar. Telvin, I see you're back. Are you good now to speak? Telvin, can you hear me?
Yeah, like a switched internet. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Why is this? No.
Yes?
You can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, this app has refused me. I've tried different internet. Anyway.
Yes. Tell us your feedback about Bahan's game, The Lost Blade.
Anyway, yeah, The Lost Blade, I really loved the gameplay loop. That was like a really interesting gameplay loop. Yeah, like that mechanic, I was like you being in the open space and then going to this certain region and traveling in time. Like that was so interesting to me. Like I loved even the idea why it was so empty, why it didn't have stuff. So like you have to go to this certain area so that you see the future where it has stuff. And yeah, I actually managed to finish. I loved the post-credit scene, weirdly. Like that was so good. The only feedback I would give was I think it has been mentioned many times. They're hitting me. So all I did was mashing the sword until they were dead. I was just trying, don't kill me. I'll kill you before you kill me. That's the only thing I was doing. But the only thing I would suggest maybe is having an FX or an FX or an area of attack, like it's in this area, so maybe I move or something like that. So if you add like that will give the player feedback of where the robots are shooting also.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know how you'll do this, but maybe like, but otherwise the loop, the gameplay loop I give you, like, that was really interesting. Maybe just having a minimal UI so that it doesn't block the player's view. It's not like that, it will be really good. But other than that, nice work. Like, I was really impressed. Yeah, the loop.
Bahan, how are you? Yes, it's Bahan who has been speaking. Bahan, are you able to continue?
Yes.
Yes,
Talk
talk
to
to
us.
us. Mhm.
Thanks a lot for the feedback. Okay, yeah. So concerning the UI, it makes sense that it was really big. I really wanted to make sure that the player could see the text because there wasn't I didn't want to make the text too small, but I can try working around it so that it doesn't cover too much of the screen. And I'm glad that you enjoyed the gameplay loop and the end credit scene. I feel like that was a fun part at the end to make the end credit scene, like making a sound effect of knocking on my door. And yeah, that part was fun to create. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I'll make sure to make it more obvious when the mech is shooting the player.
Yes, yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Bahan. Okay, then if there isn't, does anyone have any lasting remarks? Any players? Or Telvin has more feedback for the Lost Blade. And in the Lost Blade, add AoE effect for the feedback when the robots attack. Bahan, I don't know if you're able to understand. He's saying in the Lost Blade, please add AoE effect for the feedback when the robots attack.
Hello, sorry, may you please repeat?
It's in the chat. I don't know if you're able to have a look. He's saying add AoE effect for the feedback when the robots attack.
A feedback for the robot attack. Some ideas
Yes.
I had were to add particle effects when the robot is hit, or to make the robot appear like red with this black coloring, make that appear red so that it's seeing more like an attack phase.
Okay, interesting. Understood. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Bahan. Then finally, the last game, No Escape. This was a platformer game about escaping from zombies, I believe. Oscar, what was your thought on the game? We have Bokari here who will try to paint a better picture of the experience they were trying to create.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oscar, are you there?
Okay.
Oscar, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I
He's
am
on mute.
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Bokari, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Our game, no escape.
Yes, continue.
First, first when we make the when me and Mr. Frank start collaboration, first thing we did was actually clearly brainstorming the game. We after we got the themes, all the 3 or 5 themes, we ended up with like 3 or 4 ideas. Each one different from the other. So to to make it fast, we try to give each idea like point on like how close the idea is to the scene and how easy we are going to make it. It is hard to develop the idea or it is easy to develop it. And also our test, like Mr. Turan was really on the noise game, like the hospital and the Iceland, like he really wanted this. I wasn't like, I didn't care much about it, but he like his test, but I want, it doesn't matter for me, just I wanted to start the game. So we settled on the first idea of the game No Escape was like a hospital with Resident Evil theme, the horror theme, the Resident Evil and the Maze Runner theme, something like that. After we give each idea the point, the No Escape got the highest point, so we settled on it. Then after that, we start the developing, which as an artist, I faced my first challenge. It is actually the pixel art. I didn't make anything in pixel style before. I even don't like it. It is not like I didn't make. I don't like it. I didn't consider it as an art, like an artist style. That was my first idea about pixel art. But Mr. Farad insists like it is the perfect style for our games, for this type of games. So I just went to do it anyway. After doing it, it was actually a good, it was actually a good idea actually. This art wasn't actually that bad. I did it. It was really cool. I liked the result, the final result. The the art wasn't actually that hard actually. It is actually easy and still has good result. Like it is easy to make and have good result and fast result anyway. Then after that we had the problem with like I don't know anything about what developer needs from the artist. So Mr. Frank like introduced me to Unity and many other things, how to publish the art, how to spread sheets and the animation and many of it. Like I learned a lot from him. He he just go to YouTube, go and find the perfect video for me to learn and then send it to me. I just watch the video and do it. Like after that, like till we made the whole game. It was really simple, but I like it anyway. We still need to work more on it, and also we had time to make a bit of introduction, like the comic or something like sense for the story. I had the time to do it too, but it was really fast. I need to really do it like in a better quality. I think that's it for the art side. I don't know much of the developing aspect of the game. More of it was done by Mr. Frank. I don't know if he can talk about it. He can go ahead.
Yeah, I know Frank is unable to talk about it, but I'll read his description. So Frank's feedback is that
Honestly, I think he's
yes,
still in
yes,
his
yes,
workplace, like the time is not good for him.
yes. So his feedback is that originally they thought about a stealth game where the player will just avoid the enemies in a much bigger dark environment, but due to the lack of time on his part, he couldn't implement all the features they wanted. But the game turns out to be quite playable, and they even have some videos of gameplay made by people on YouTube, so it was very much fun for them to create. And the game has been published on itch.io and Jiwe IO. Yes, yes. Awesome, fantastic. Oscar? Yes? Sorry? Yes. Oscar, any questions for Bokari? Any thoughts, any feedback?
No, I think I missed a lot of what he said because my internet was messing up. But I could also read from the chat some of the feedback, and I think yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I think I'm okay for now.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, awesome. And finally, we have No Escape. No Escape, the 2D platformer that was about surviving zombies in a very interesting top-down level. Max, any thoughts on the game? Still in the horror genre?
I love it. Everyone stuck to, or rather, everybody did their own thing. This particular one was was too entertaining for me. I had to finish it twice.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it was really good. I found it super entertaining, except especially for the pixel art. We've not seen a lot of people do pixel art in the hackathons, so it was a real pleasure to see the pixel art happening in the hackathon. And he picked like a simple mechanic, like you're moving in one direction, you just avoid zombies, and he was pretty creative with some of the zombies. There was one big zombie that would just be guarding some area that you don't even need to go, because I explored all of the whole place. So it was very entertaining, and the pixel art was well done for it. So kudos too.
Okay, yes. Bokari, you want to switch on your video and speak? Bokari, are you there?
Hear me?
Let's give him a second. Yes, yes. Hello? Yes?
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, are you able to switch on your video and speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think there's something we should like tell the players about the zombies, and like you should grab the zombie from the way by like getting close, then getting away from him, like try to grab him away from from the way, then you come back and you go normally. I think we should tell the player that. So like we saw like a YouTube video of someone trying our game. He just like don't try to explore all the map. He just go to the easy road and then go away, like then finish the game. Like he don't try to go to the hard ways of the game. We don't have really a big map, but I think we should like tell the players like they should explore the map and try to grab the zombies away from the way so they can explore the rest of the map. But that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, that's interesting. It would, I think, make the game. It will definitely make it a different game. Yeah, but yeah, that's a conversation we can definitely have. I'm sure we all. Does anyone have any interesting to add on that? Max, anything to add on that, on what you said?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
No, I just want to agree. Expanding the map and seeing what people do on it would be very interesting, because there were some like me who didn't take the easy way. We were exploring everywhere, but there are some who will take the easy way to get to the end. But one thing is
Yeah,
sure, it needs a bigger map and more places to.
more like rewards and something like this. And people who explore the map should have like some rewards, something like that. Like, I think we should try to do that.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Thank you for your thoughts. We quickly jump to Wendy.
Okay. First of all, what I really enjoyed about this game was just how you quickly get to you won. The first level was very easy to play, so
Yeah.
it gives you motivation to continue,
Yeah.
playing. And then I also liked how the levels and the challenges kept on progressing. Yeah, it gives you motivation to. I mean, it just makes it interesting. The challenge is interesting because you start easy, then it goes increasing in challenge.
Yeah.
And then again, also, it would also be nice to have a bit of music as well to enhance the experience.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Some scary music will definitely help it. It's already terrifying enough, but music will definitely take it over the top.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy, for the quick, concise feedback. Next up, we have Telvin. Telvin, are you there? Oh, Bokari would like to speak in response. Sorry, Telvin. Bokari, any feedback? I know it was almost all positive, but yeah, any feedback on the music? Bokari, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Please turn your video on.
Something about the levels of the game. Offers something maybe not many notice it, but on the opening of the game, it is like there is a time travel, like from the first things, like from two to one for the hour when our hero is resting in the hospital, when he transformed from the hospital to the island, like the day went to the 19th, like it was like there was something like time travel. I don't think many people notice that. Like I don't think even Frank like noticed it. Like the developer I think himself, I don't think he noticed about that. So, but also there is something about the music. We had the music, but I think Mr. Brown forget about it. Like didn't implement it, and he just sent the game. Like we already had the music. We will try to update it later.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then finally, we have Frank and Bohari. No Escape was, I think, positively frustrating. I did a few times and I got a bit frustrated, which is always sometimes good in a game. It made me really focus on what I was doing. It made me make sure that I was running as fast as possible. It made me discover the shift button pretty quickly. Yeah, I truly did enjoy it. Yes, music would have been awesome, but I think also having enemies that attack you at the entrance. I don't know if you recall when you start the level, you have a few seconds before you start running. If one of the enemies chased you down at that point, it will make it very interesting, I think. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I loved the game. It was very interesting, very challenging. I don't know, any thoughts, Bokari? Bokari, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, are you able to switch on your video?
Yeah, I have something, I think, with my connection, some problems.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Okay, I wanted to share my screen, but don't know, like with some of our process, but I can't. I was trying, but I'm not able to do it. Sorry.
Maybe take us through your process, and then later I'll speak to you about getting that video of your process. Is that okay? Yeah, just take us through your process verbally.
What is this noise? I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, there's some noise. I can't hear you well.
Can you hear now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. Okay.
First, thank you for the feedback, all of you. We will try to make it better. Inshallah, I wanted to share it, but like some screenshots, okay, but I will just maybe send it later on the WhatsApp group or the Discord chat, maybe.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
From the beginning, from our like collaborate, from our brainstorming till we finish, we will send some screenshot.
Yeah.
And later.
Then finally, Telvin, feedback for No Escape. Sorry for the mix-up. Feedback for No Escape. Telvin, are you there? Okay. I think I'll just read his feedback and his thoughts from the judging sheet, just to be able to communicate it to you guys. Yeah, he might not be at all able to join. So his feedback is that it was he loved the game. It was very simple, and he really felt the theme of isolation with the zombies in the hallways. The only thing he'd say to add is maybe give visual feedback of where the AI can see you. I'm thinking maybe at the beginning of the level, you're able to tell that if you're X distance away, the AI sees you. If you're X distance away, it can't see you. I think that's the only feedback he'd like to give. Bokari and Frank, any thoughts on that? Being able to visually see the AI's limits of the boundary. Bokari, are you there?
Can you repeat? Sorry, can you repeat?
Yes, being able to visually see how far the AI can see you, being able to visually present to the player that the AI can see you from this point, or if you get to the AI, if you get close to the AI by this distance, the AI will see you and attack you.
Okay, I am just starting.
What do you think?
Yeah, I am just. I know my. As an artist, I should know more about this than Mr. Frank or many of us. But actually, I am.
So it's mostly a question for Frank.
Yeah, like the visual aspect is like should be my thing, but I am actually still trying to figure all the AI or the UI process.
Okay. Yeah, understood.
Yeah,
I can see if. Yes, continue, Bukari.
No, go ahead. I know what.
No, it's Frank who's given his feedback on the chat. He says it was part of the initial idea, but it couldn't be added to the final build, which I think is understandable. Maybe in other versions it will be considered.
Yeah, the chat. I didn't notice. There's actually a lot of the chat. I didn't notice. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, then I think that's it from Telvin. Telvin, do you have anything else you would like to add? You can type in the chat. Okay. Any thoughts on that, Bokari? Any feedback? Any response? Anything you'd like to say to that?
Okay, I didn't hear all of it actually because
I think, yeah, I think for both you and Frank, he was mostly speaking about having a more visual attack space where you can, as a player, you can easily tell how well the attack is going or whether you're able to attack the robot with a sword.
we decided that there will be no fighting from the first.
Oh, I think
From
it's
the-
a long game that.
Yeah, me and Mr. Frank, you mean like fighting the zombies and trying to kill them?
Okay, awesome. Then, yeah, I think that's it for everyone. Does any judge have any final remarks? Does any developer have any final thoughts? The floor is yours. Please feel free. I'm not sure who's speaking. Is that Bahan? Okay, if there are no final statements, then thank you everyone for giving up your time, for giving up this afternoon. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you to the developers. Yeah, we are super impressed with your work. You've done amazing work and we can't wait to see what your games continue to be. At Jiwe, we'll definitely try to assist you in any way we can. We'll assist you with feedback. We'll assist you with resources where we can, connecting you to other developers, other artists, and so on. Thank you again, and see you at the next Game Jam in October. Thank you, and have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this session, and we hope you give us great feedback in the comments below. Please subscribe to our channel and join us next time. Thank you, and bye.